Hello my friends, Virus here, and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is so fun. So fun, you guys. I might be slightly biased because this is my favorite Luigi's Mansion game, but I am having an absolute blast playing it. This is pretty much like my first impressions of it because I haven't played all the way through it. It's essentially the same game, of course with some quality of life improvements like you can play it on the TV and some minor control options, but I wanted to just talk about my first impressions of it because this is really fun. If you don't know, I've been hyped for this game for over a year now, and it's really cool to have this in my hands finally. And first, I just want to say the game looks beautiful. All these up-res textures, maybe even redone textures, they look so beautiful on the Switch. And it gives me more of an appreciation for these areas because, well, they're in HD and you can see every little detail. It's great. Everything looks super smooth, everything plays super smoothly. The only qualm I have with it, and this is probably like the only qualm I have with the game like entirely, is that sometimes Luigi's expressions look a little bit out of place. And there are times where I prefer the original expression compared to the slightly redone expression on his face. The plus side is his face is fully animated now, which is really cool. But sometimes there are like slight expressions that he does like in his animations and cutscenes that I think could have been swapped with the original because I thought the original was just fine. And I think I pinpointed it down to the eyebrows because sometimes the eyebrows will move in the original and they will not in this version. Really the only qualm I have with it, it's very minor. It doesn't really affect like my overall experience and it's still really fun. It's really nice to see Luigi fully animated, and this is basically what I've always wanted out of a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake. Beautifully crisp textures, fully animated Luigi and Egad, and I believe King Boo was even more animated in the opening cutscene, which is great. Now I want to get on to the controls. It controls basically the same as it did on the 3DS, with the addition of the right stick being able to like, change your axis. So basically you can like walk and like you can like turn around and stuff like that with the right stick, which apparently, according to Nintendo Life, wasn't in the game originally. The version that they were handed for review purposes anyway, it did not have that feature. And they said that was a huge like complaint that they had with it because they could not use the right stick, because in Luigi's Mansion 3 you can use the right stick. In the original you can use the right stick. You could not use the right stick apparently in the version that testers were getting. So it must have been like a really quick fix as well. And it must have been a decently easy fix, I'm sure, but it's very welcome here. I'm very glad that this control option's here so I can like look up and down with the right stick and like spin around. It's really nice. And I love the soundtrack. I love that they didn't really touch it. I think they might have just like slightly remastered it to like make it sound better, especially on this console, but it sounds just as I remember it. It's beautiful, it's crisp. I love the soundtrack. Music in games for me is huge, and it plays a huge role in whether I like a game or not. And this game has some of the best music in any Luigi's Mansion game. The original Luigi's Mansion has really good music, but I like this one a bit more, probably because I have a little bit of a bias because this is my first Luigi's Mansion game and it's also my favorite. And I'm so glad that they kept the original Charles Martinet voice clips. Don't get me wrong, the new voice actor, Kevin Afghani, is a great Mario and Luigi, but I'm really glad that they kept the Charles Martinet voice clips because I think I would prefer it if they kept it that way, because they kept it pretty close to the original, and I think this was a really good decision to keep the original voice clips. Plus, it would open up Kevin Afghani's schedule to do other voices in other games, like Mario and Luigi Brothership that just got announced. And I just have to gush about the visuals once again. They are gorgeous. Everything looks super crisp in HD. It gives me a way better appreciation for the visuals in this game because it's all in HD and you can make out a lot of minute details, especially with the opening cutscenes to new areas, because there's always like a pan over to the new area. So just seeing that like cutscene introducing the new area, it looks so good. I've only played up to the second area so far, but I am having a blast. And some people that know how hyped I am for this game are probably surprised why I haven't finished it yet. That's because, well, I want to take my time with this. I've been waiting for this for over 10 years, and I just want to take my time with it and take it in slower, I will say the price point is a little steep for a 3DS remake, especially when you look at other remakes and remasters like Metroid Prime Remastered, for example. That's only $40. And I did pay full price for this game, and that's okay because I have it now, I'm playing it, I'm loving it. I highly recommend it as your first Luigi's Mansion game. It's a fine starting point if you haven't played the original, and it's just on the Switch right now, so I don't think you really have anything to lose if you buy it, other than, some money. Yeah, that's my first impressions, essentially. The game looks great, it plays nicely. I love that they included the old voice clips. Oh, and I almost forgot about the Scarescraper. They basically did not touch the Scarescraper whatsoever, which is great. However, I do wish there was a split screen, couch multiplayer mode, but that's perfectly fine that there's not. Some people might be bothered by it because that means somebody else has to own the game for you to be able to play it with them, but considering I'm probably going to mostly play this by myself, I don't mind it. And yeah, that's basically my first impressions. The game looks great, the game plays very nicely. It's essentially everything that I wanted out of a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake / remaster. Because if you remember, for the longest time, I was saying I did not want it in the style of 3, because Luigi's Mansion 3 is so good because of it being in its own art style. I just really wanted it to be like an upscaled version. I wanted like the textures to look a bit better. That's essentially it. I wanted it to just be like an HD version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and it delivered on that. Of course, there are going to be a lot of people, disagreeing with me, and there are plenty of people on the internet already disagreeing with me, but that's okay. I love this game. I love playing it. I love that I can just play it on my Switch now, and I don't have to just like dig out my 3DS whenever I want to play it. And I think it pairs really well with Luigi's Mansion 3 on Switch. I wish they also gave us a Luigi's Mansion HD, like an HD port of the original, so we'd have all 3 Luigi's Mansions in one spot, but that's okay. I have my favorite Luigi's Mansion game on Switch, and that's really all I can ask for. And that's the video. Have you played Luigi's Mansion 2 HD? Let me know down in the comments below. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and be sure to click that bell so you never miss any Virus content. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Virus out.